In Privacy Watch, we are taking a closer look at how Facebook targets its users for advertisers and how it works so well for Donald Trump's presidential campaign. In an article for Wired, former Facebook employee Antonio Garcia Martinez explains just why Trump's ads were more effective and paid off in his winning campaign. And Antonio joins us now to break this whole thing down. So this article is really interesting because you're pulling back the curtain. We can look at the inner workings of how ads are sold and bought on Facebook, and it's not the same as advertising on television or in a newspaper, the typical way that a lot of these campaigns, or the way these campaigns have used their advertising dollars. So first off, is it true that the Trump campaign and the Clinton campaign paid two different prices for the same types of ads on Facebook?
Well, the short answer is yes. I mean, Facebook made the unusual step of actually divulging their what's called CPM cost, their total media cost. And it turns out that in general, Trump might have paid a little bit more than the Clinton campaign. The reality, though, is that it's that's a very coarse-grained metric for exactly who spent what. The reality is that I think the best rumors or leaks that are coming out of the campaign say that in fact they ran very different campaigns, and so that means very different media costs ultimately.
Hey, Tony, you talk about how Facebook targets users, and in your article you mentioned custom and lookalike audiences in your piece. What are these, and how do these tools exactly work?
Right. These are really powerful means of targeting that launched as long as 5 years ago, but really only tuning into it now. How it really works is this: an advertiser takes often literally a spreadsheet containing personal information like name, address, phone number, etc. And those people are, have done some special thing. They're either donors in a certain state, they have a certain demographic. For one reason or another, the advertiser thinks that that's a special set of people. They upload that to Facebook, and Facebook finds those people online. Why that's so powerful is a few things. Most people are Facebook users. Facebook has what's called a high match rate. It'll find most of those people. Secondly, Facebook knows who you are on every screen that you touch. That's just an unprecedented reach, which is why advertisers love it. The other effect is, of course, is they can actually have very fine-grained targeting. They can literally target down to a few people in a certain state. And the other thing is called lookalike audience. And what that means is, okay, look, I've got this special set of people that donated money. Facebook knows who you're similar to due to your likes, your behavior online, what you read, etc. And so it'll find other people similar to that person that maybe also have that special quality that advertisers are looking for.
But there was something about the nature of the Trump campaign's ads that really fit so perfectly with the algorithm that Facebook uses. The title of the piece is How Trump Conquered Facebook Without Russian Ads. Facebook rewards clicks, and often what gets you those clicks are the most outrageous or scandalous or interesting postings.
It can be. I mean, yeah, I think you're touching on what's the real crux of my story, which is Facebook is engagement focused. And I think all of us as Facebook users understand that on the organic, unpaid side, we're going to see content that our friends tend to engage in, we're probably going to engage in. I think the surprise of this piece is that that's also true in the ad system. What it fundamentally means is if you've got content that people engage with, and that's kind of a euphemism, as you're pointing out, that means clicks, that means likes, that means comments, then your net media cost, ultimately, how the auction works, can be less. And if that's true, then you can reach the same people for a lot less if your content is that sort of clickbaity content. That's really the engagement focus that Facebook has.
And it sounds like then, Antonio, Facebook is then more concerned with the engagement than it is with the dollars.
Right, to some degree that's true. In Facebook's defense, right, this sort of system isn't novel. I mean, Google does the exact same thing. Most advertising systems that have some goal other than just selling ad impressions have some version of this estimation. The thing is, it works one way when it's trying to sell you a pair of shoes or get you interested in some particular story. It's quite a different deal when this is how we pick our democratically elected leaders, right? That's how this is very different.
So listen, now we know that Brad Parscale is going to be running the 2020 campaign for President Trump. He was the one behind this successful social media campaign for the previous election. And, some people have praised him for his techniques. Others have criticized him. Some have accused him of an attempt at voter suppression with some of the stuff that he posted on social media. What can we look forward to in 2020? It certainly seems like Facebook is trying to get hip to the ways in which their algorithms can be manipulated, but will that be enough?
Yeah, the voter suppression story is really interesting. They basically publicly admitted that. And this is, from my personal point of view as an ad tech guy, it's kind of interesting because you rarely target people to get them to not do something, right? That's kind of unusual. But by their own public admissions, they use custom audiences to target potential Hillary Clinton voters, not their own voters, and get them not to show up. Which really is an unintended use of Facebook's ad system, frankly. But yeah, I mean, if this continues, I mean, you can imagine seeing more of this, probably on both sides, right? I mean, I think the story here is that Clinton really underspent on Facebook and didn't put in the effort that they should have. And so come 2080 or certainly 2020, I think that's going to change.
All right, and we will see. Wired's Antonio Garcia Martinez, great insight.
It's
very complex.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but we do appreciate your time. Thank you.